This is KMT Radio on Talk Radio 860 WGUL. Brought to you by the KMT Radio team, Karen Jaroch, Mark Grosenbaugh, and Tim Curtis. Studio lines are open. In Tampa, 289-1860. Anywhere else, 1-877-969-8600. KMT Radio, now on Talk Radio 860, WGUL.
Wow. Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon especially to all the folks that are here in studio with us. Yay! Thank you all for coming. I'm Tim Curtis, and I'm joined by my friends Karen and Mark and our producer Brendan, whose primary job it is to make us look and sound good. And I can promise you, with me in this equation, that's going to be difficult. But hello, Tampa Bay, surrounding areas, and around the world via iHeartRadio on 860 WGUL. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to be silent no longer, and this radio show is your chance to do that. We invite you to call us locally at 813-289-1860 and nationwide at 877-969-8600. Please hit us up on Facebook also at KMT Radio 860 AM. As I mentioned, we're here with a bunch of friends, family, and well-wishers to encourage us on our first show. And because it's our first show, and we're very pleased and privileged to have the Peroni family from Housewife Bakery, who provided some of our food for us today, gave us a big old pan of schisciata. Mm-hmm. And if you've never had schisciata, you don't know good pizza. So a special thanks to Anthony and his family as well.
And I did want to jump in real quick, Tim. We have a little watch, or maybe it's a listening party going on in Akron, Ohio on Farmdale Road. So I just wanted to make sure we acknowledge them.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, folks, we're here today for this reason. It's our intent to entertain, encourage, and enlighten. We hope to be a resource for knowledge, and we'll provide you the sources of our information. We hope to offer you motivation and to continue to support and defend the views, values, and vision that led our founders to establish the greatest governing document the world has ever known. And I tell you this, we will tell you the truth. Our absolute promise to you is to never lie. So, to get us started today, since this is our maiden voyage, we're going to spend a little bit of time today telling you something about ourselves, about what we hope to accomplish and how you can get involved. At this point, I'd like to introduce Karen and what she's done, and then after she's done, she's going to hand it over to Mark. But I want to introduce you to my good friend and colleague over these past 3 years, a patriot warrior, supermom, and killer of useless tax increases, Miss Karen Jaroch. Karen, don't be shy. Absolutely. Don't be shy, Karen, because I didn't overdo that. All of those statements are factually true. Karen, please say hello.
Well, I'm so honored to be here and among so many friends, and I just am looking forward to a show where we can make a difference in the Tampa Bay area. But a little bit about myself. I was brought over here in 1980 by my parents. My father worked at MacDill, went to high school at Plant High School, graduated from USF with an engineering degree, and that's where I met my husband of 24 years, Mike, and have 4 wonderful children. I worked in industry for about 15 years, Northrop Grumman and Texas Instrument, until I had my children, and then we went down to working part-time. And finally, when we moved back here in 2002, was a PTA mom, just minding my own business, spending my times in the schools, cleaning my pool, doing all kinds of things that I don't have time for anymore. But something happened along the way. The country was changing. I did keep in touch with politics, and just started having that feeling in my gut a few years back. Started with the prescription drug program that was not paid for. It started with the stimulus, the government taking over our car companies. Just things were changing, and so I felt like I had to step in, like so many other people did, and do something. So with the Rick Santelli rant, that was our calling card. I helped to co-found, along with several others, the Tampa 912 Project, which if you haven't gone there, encourage you to go to tampa912.org, and some of the great other organizations in the Tampa Bay area will be showcasing throughout the coming weeks. But anyhow, that's pretty much where I'm at. Currently, I'm also working as a field director with a great company, Americans for Prosperity. And we're, through all these organizations, trying to turn our country back, going back to our founding principles, limiting the size and scope of government, and keeping government in check. But that's enough for me. There's lots of time to talk and chat later on. Right now, sitting next to me is my good friend, wonderful patriot, and just an all-around go-to guy, Mark Grosenbaugh. Mark, can you tell us about yourself? Woo!
Thanks, Karen. Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be here with you and Tim and our Patriot followers here with us in studio. My story's similar to Karen's, except I was a conservative from the beginning. My mother used to refer to William F. Buckley as her boyfriend. So I was going to be a conservative. It didn't matter. But it was the same thing. You get involved in life. You get married, you raise children, and you're too busy for politics. But at some point you realize the country's going in the wrong direction. And it was Rick Santelli's rant that launched the Tea Party, and that's what I got involved with, and then the Tampa 912.
And Mark, we want to hear some more from you. Finish out that story when we get back. As we mentioned, we got a lot of folks here in the studio. We have some special guests with us. Besides the watch party up in Ohio, we also have a very special guest that's going to be joining us on the line when we get back. So stay right where you are. This is KMT Radio.
Talk Radio 860 WGUL. Welcome back to KMT Radio with Karen, Mark, and Tim. To get in on the conversation, call now in Hillsboro 289-1860 or toll free at 877-969-8600. Now back to KMT Radio on Tampa Bay's conservative talk station 860 WGUL.
All right. Thank you for staying right where you are. Thanks, everyone. Wow, it's so great to have you all here. We're going to finish up with our introductions. Again, the idea today is to get you to know a little bit about us, about who we are, why we're here, and what we hope to accomplish. We also intend on getting in a call or two. We do have our guest from Ohio on the line, but we want to hear from you all as well. So please get on the line, give us a call, and you'll have your opportunity to be silent no more. So, Mark, why don't you go ahead and finish up?
Well, I was pretty much finished. It was Rick Santelli's rant that launched the Tea Party movement, and it was time for me to get involved. Like Karen mentioned, you could see that the nation is headed in the wrong direction, and I don't want to be left on the sidelines. All of us need to get involved. If we recognize we're going the wrong direction, we've got to turn this ship around. So got involved in the Tea Party movement, the Tampa 912 in particular, and now I'm here on the radio.
And we're happy to have you.
Thanks.
What a great friend, great friends I've made as a result of this. And I can tell you all that for me, being here today is very much just a natural extension of what I've been doing for many years now. And actually, for me, it's the next logical step in a journey toward a goal of honoring the work of my parents, my grandparents, and all of the men and women who have served this great nation before me, and many who still serve today. I know Karen has a son in the service. My son is in the service. I'm a retired Marine officer, a current small business owner, where I did build that. And when I'm, thank you.
No government there, huh?
No government on that one. Well, except for the times that I've had to be audited and I have to waste a lot of trees producing documents that are unnecessary. But when I'm not doing that, I'm out playing golf or refereeing high school basketball for enjoyment. I've been refereeing basketball for about 20 years now. I've had the opportunity to serve on various committees for the county, and I currently serve on the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation Event Committee, which just by chance happens to involve golf. Go figure. But what happened was, like Karen and Mark, and like so many of the folks here in this room and in our listening audience, I was concerned about what I saw going on. And the concern, as I know, because while it didn't come up today, I know that we've had this conversation before. It wasn't just in 2008 that this concern began. The expansion of government under Republicans, under Democrats, has had a slow creep for a long time. And the result of all of that is where we find ourselves today. One of the things we're going to do at some point in time, you're going to hear a tick-tock, tick-tock in the background, and that's going to be the debt clock ticking away, telling us how much more each of us as individuals and families and even unborn children owe on that debt. But I got involved because it was time for me to be silent no longer. And Karen, Mark, and I invite each of you all to join us here on this show every Saturday afternoon from 5 to 6 on WGUL 860 and make your voice heard as well. This radio show is that vehicle to make that happen for you. And you can get us locally at 813-289-1860 or nationwide at 877-969-8600. So with that in mind, we're going to I'm going to hand this over to Karen because she's got a special friend on the line that she's going to introduce for us. Karen?
Well, thank you, Tim. One of the things we are going to do on this show as the weeks progress is have guests in the local Tampa Bay area that are making a difference in our area and who have action steps that we can take. And today I'm very honored to invite a friend of mine, Shawn Calvert. She is co-founder of the Tampa Tea Party and also No Tax for Tracks, and just recently a former Hillsborough County Commission candidate. She's such a great friend. She's full of great ideas. And Sharon, are you on the line?
I sure am, Karen. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, welcome. Well, one of the things that we know that I think there's an election. Is there an election coming up soon?
A critical one.
A critical one. Well, one of the things that I know you were heavily involved in was the charter amendment for the Hillsborough County charter to add a financial impact statement. And this is huge. And I'm wondering, Sharon, if you could tell us a little bit about the background, what gave you the idea on that, and then how we can get this going forward.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that because we have such a long ballot. But after, I guess it was really after the 2010 election when we had the sales referendum for the rail issue on the ballot, that made me really want to advocate. And I've always been about transparency. I mean, I advocated for that in my campaign. I've advocated that as part of the Tampa Tea Party. And it's something that we must have. As taxpayers, we deserve it. Right. We had an issue on the ballot in 2010, a $1.2 billion referendum. And where was that publicly, easily, where was that information available?
Sharon, I think they were just telling us it cost a penny.
Well, see, the word cost is that four-letter word, right? So, but we need to have information that's readily available so that we can be an informed voter. And we did that at the state level. In 2000, we passed the bullet train. Mm-hmm. Well, in 2002, we passed amendments to require a financial impact statement and to also require 60% supermajority at the state level. Mm-hmm. In 2004, we repealed that bullet train because people found out how much it cost.
That's right. Cost always is forgotten.
That's exactly right. So we want to put that good public policy back at our county level. I think voters deserve it.